Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at a Dolby Atmos soundbar system from Ultimea. Now this soundbar system features 5.1.2 channel surround setup, wireless rear speakers and a dedicated 6-inch subwoofer. In this review, I'm going to tell you all you need to know about this soundbar system. And we'll test out the sound quality with cinematic movie scenes. And without wasting much time, my name is Oni, and this is the Skywave X40. Welcome back guys, and before we get started, I would like to disclose that this video is sponsored by Ultimea. However, my thoughts and opinions remain entirely personal. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, now inside the box you get a quick start guide and documentation, box with all accessories and wall mounting brackets, power adapters and cables, remote control, a HDMI cable, optical cable, the X40 soundbar, 2 surround rear speakers, and lastly, a 6.5-inch subwoofer. So overall, it's a complete home theater package right out the box, which is always nice to see. Another thing I'd like to point out is the packaging and how compact it is compared to the usual L-shaped packaging of most 5.1.2 systems. As you can see from the packaging of my Hisense, Ultimea have used a modular design for their soundbar, which has enabled them to maintain a more compact packaging. Not that this matters a lot, but it's just something I found interesting. Anyway, at the time of this video, the Skywave X40 sells for around $300 in the UK. Depending on the retailer, you can catch it on offer every now and then. At this price point and as a 5.1.2 soundbar, the X40 is firmly placed in the entry-level, mid-range home theater soundbar category. Although according to Ultimea Skywave's hierarchy, the X40 is actually the lowest entry-level offering. I think they have something like the X50, the X60, the X70, and the most recent X100, which features a dual 10-inch subwoofer, which is just insane, the level of power on that thing. That said, the X40 is also quite powerful enough for most people, and considering that you're also getting Dolby Atmos, rear speakers, and a subwoofer, the value proposition here is actually quite competitive. And if you're interested in picking one up, links will be in the description. Okay, now let's talk about design and build quality. The Skywave X40 features a very clean and modern soundbar design. The soundbar itself has a modular design. It has this interlocking system that connects pieces together. And once you put it together, the soundbar is fairly wide and it measures around 110 centimeters across, which makes it ideal for medium to large TVs. The whole body is made of plastic material, but the front side is made of metal grille that covers the drivers. The finish is minimal with gold accents, which in my opinion makes the system stand out in a nice and stylish way. The rear surround speakers are compact and easy to position around the room. They also fit these stands designed for satellite speakers, and the stand comes with different mounting options, so you can find something that works for your speaker. I'll leave links to these stands in the description if you're interested. Okay, now moving on to the sub. Now the subwoofer has a simple cube design with gold trim accents and can easily sit beside a TV stand or a sofa. Overall, the build quality feels solid. The system has a proper home theater presence once everything is fully set up. Alright, let's talk about the features. The Skywave X40 is a 5.1.2 channel Dolby Atmos system, meaning it includes front channels in the soundbar and 2 up-firing speakers that bounce sounds off of the ceiling to create these height effects, a dedicated subwoofer, and 2 wireless rear surround speakers that sits behind your sofa. The setup creates a 3-dimensional sound experience where the audio feels like it's coming from around and above you. It's also worth mentioning that the entire system is completely wireless, using Ultimea's Cinemesh wireless technology. No need for cables running from the surround speakers to the satellite speakers, which used to be the case in the past. And that said, the speakers do need to be individually powered. So once synced together, the soundbar controls the connection. Once you turn it on from the soundbar, it also turns on the subwoofer and the satellite speakers automatically. And it also turns them off as well once you hit the turn off button from the soundbar. Now that's pretty cool and very convenient. Now the system also uses Ultimea's neural core processing, which helps decode Dolby Atmos audio and maps it into a more immersive soundstage. For bass, the system includes a 6.5-inch subwoofer capable of reaching down to those sub-bass frequencies. Now, Ultimea claims it to reach around 35 Hz, which allows it to deliver strong cinematic low-end effects. Now, another interesting technology here is Ultimea's Gravis ultra-linear bass, which basically helps the speaker deliver clean, controlled bass even at higher volumes. And thanks to that GaN amp or gallium nitride amplification, and if you know anything about GaN technology, you know that it can deliver high power output while keeping heat and distortion at lower levels compared to traditional amplifiers. Okay, now let's take a look at the controls. Now, you can control the Skywave X40 using a few methods. From the top of the soundbar itself, which has the most limited controls, which is fine as most people won't be using this method anyway to control the soundbar. Now the next method is via the remote control, and here you have a lot more control over the system, and you can make pretty much all the necessary adjustments by using the remote. And the last method is using Ultimea's app, which gives you the most fine-tuning controls to really shape your sound. And I must say that the app is well made. Connection is quick and simple. Always make sure to update your firmware if prompted before proceeding. And once you're in, you can do things like adjust volume, switch input sources, change EQ modes, adjust basic EQ settings, or you can use the 10-band EQ for more precise tuning, which is very nice. You have the ability to save different custom EQ presets and switch between them easily. For something simpler, you can use the 121 audio preset points to shape the sound by just selecting the dots. It also has a dedicated slider for controlling volume of the up-firing speakers and the surround speakers, and honestly, this app has a decent amount of settings to help you achieve the best possible sound. Now, one thing that's missing here and would be really nice to have with any surround system is some form of room correction feature. But at this entry level, I won't sweat it too much. The soundbar already gives you a lot of features for the money. Comparing this to my Hisense 5.1.2 surround system, you only get a remote with basic controls, no app, no updates for around the same price as the Ultimea X40, so there you go. Now, another thing that the Ultimea does that my Hisense don't is the ability to turn off startup and system sounds. Now, I can't tell you how annoying this can be with my Hisense when it always has to play this jingle at a set volume every time you turn the system on and off. Even if you turn down the volume to 0 or mute the speaker completely, it always plays that startup jingle, which can be very annoying at some point. But the Ultimea just gives you the option to turn this completely off, which means at late nights or if you have a toddler, you can turn on the system without worrying that it's just going to blast this audio, potentially upset your little one. But it's just these little things that matter and makes a difference in your overall experience with a product. And I'm glad that Ultimea engineers actually put this into consideration. Alright, now next is connectivity. Now the X40 supports Bluetooth 5.4, which ensures stable wireless connection when streaming music from your phone or tablet. For wired connections, you get HDMI eARC, optical input, and a USB input. Now the HDMI eARC is especially useful because it allows your TV to send high-quality Dolby Atmos audio directly to your soundbar using that audio return channel. So if available, always use the eARC port to connect your display devices like your TV or projector with ARC support. Okay, now before I go ahead with the audio test, I'm going to explain my current setup. Now, I have a 5.1.2 sound setup in my movie area, and I have a soundbar up to the front, the subwoofer to the side, 2 satellite speakers behind the sitting area. I have the speakers pointed inwards, so you still get that nice surround experience. The soundbar is then connected via HDMI eARC to my Hisense PX Pro UST projector or laser TV, projecting to this 100-inch ALR screen. So it's a very large viewing angle, and I expect the Ultimea soundbar to fit in nicely. Alright, I'm done talking for this soundbar. I'm gonna let it do the talking. It's time for the sound quality test. I'm going to be using binaural microphones for this test, so for the best experience, please listen with headphones, and after the test, I'll come back and share my final thoughts. Okay, X40, take it away.
Lightning fast, supremely intelligent. And if he is struck down on the battlefield, I will simply make you another.
You think you're in control of this? You're not.
Alright, now, as you just heard, the Skywave X40 delivers a very cinematic experience. The surround speakers do a great job placing the sounds around the room, while the up-firing speakers help create the sense of extra height. Although don't expect this system to rival dedicated ceiling speakers with professional cinema setup. It just isn't there yet, but you do get that sense of environment and space. And the length of the soundbar helps with good stereo separation. Even with a 100-inch screen, it works well with creating that left and right effect. Although I must say that the soundstage is a bit center-weighted, and left and right channels are not as pronounced as I would expect. But that said, it's great for dialogue. Vocals push out nice and clear, particularly with the voice mode, which slightly enhance speech frequencies. And when it comes to impact and bass, this thing does not disappoint. The bass from the 6.5-inch subwoofer is deep, impactful, and especially during action sequences, is plenty enough rumble for my space. And you have plenty enough volume if you want to turn it up even more. Now, the surround speakers are very impressive, very present. You can definitely feel the effects of the surround. It just brings the audio from way in front there to right here and all around you. I can definitely say that it's a nicer experience having the system. Now, Ultimea claims less than 20 milliseconds response, so if you're into gaming, that shouldn't also be a problem with this system. Now, to wrap things up, the Ultimea Skywave X40 is designed for people who want a home cinema experience without building a complicated speaker system. You get Dolby Atmos surround sound, wireless rear speakers, a sub, app control, and connectivity options. Considering the price, I think it offers a very solid entry point to Dolby Atmos home cinema system, and one that I can definitely recommend today. So if you're on the lookout for a surround sound system, definitely check these guys out because they have a lot of exciting features to offer compared to similarly priced 5.1.2 systems out there. Alright, that's it from me. Let me know what you think about the X40 in the comments below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to stay connected, and until next time, my name is Onyi, and I'll see you in the next video.